to in the neighborhood of 10,000 lesson plans. Now this number changes as new lesson plans are added and other ones are reworked. So it's just a quick way of getting access to everything. Now this same trick works if you're looking for our multimedia interactives. Again, I'm going to go to in the classroom, and this time the student interactives. We'll find the interactives that are being highlighted today, and these do change. And if I scroll to the bottom, I can find all of them. So now I need third grade history, and there are the interactives. We've got 69 of them. So that's one way that a teacher can do it. Now using the exact same skill, moms and dads and grandparents can do the same thing. So if you're at home and you're looking for tools or games that kids can play that have an educational background, here we go with different activities. And again, mom and dad can also scroll to the bottom and browse all of our interactives. Now, when you talk about our videos, the interactive games, the primary resources, when you look at everything, we're talking about in the neighborhood of another 40,000 resources in our database. That's a rough number. But we're talking about 10,000 lesson plans, tens upon tens of thousands of interactives in our database, and they're provided free of charge to anybody who wants them. I'm going to go back to the front page with the red thinkfinity button. So we know with the in the classroom, we can look at lesson plans or the student interactives. At home, we can look at resources for parents, games, etc. The next button I'd like to look at is the professional development button. The professional development button will lead you to trainings that are available. Let's look at the first button, which is in your state. Now, the Verizon Foundation has a partnership with some, but not all, states at the time of this recording. The ones that we have partnerships with are denoted in red. Let's pick on West Virginia for a moment. That's my hometown. The West Virginia Department of Education is the partner, and this partner is the one that manages the relationship with Verizon and the thinkfinity program. If you'd like to know about thinkfinity in West Virginia, here's a link to the program overview. The Department of Education of each state is not always the partner. Let's take a look at Texas, for example. Texas has the Texas Computer Education Association. They manage the partnership from the Texas side, and if you're in Texas and like to know about training opportunities from them, there's a link to the program overview. So if you are in a red state, that's the first thing I would do if I'm looking for face-to-face or what kinds of training opportunities or what's happening with thinkfinity in my state. I'd find my state and then go to the program overview. Now, if you're in a gray state, that means we don't have a program in place at the time of this recording. Anybody can go to our webinars. These webinars rotate routinely. We update them. We have the recorded, well, these are the live ones that I'm showing here, and we also have recorded webinars, which you're taking right now. So these are available free of charge to anyone at any time. So you can take them a live webinar with a trainer, or you can watch the recorded one. So we have professional development available to a wide variety of audiences and a wide variety of schedules. All right, I'm going to take a minute and return back to the front page. I'm at thinkfinity.org. I'm going to take a minute and walk down the right-hand side of the screen. Oh, I've forgotten something already. When we redesigned our website, we added a new feature, and there was a feature that people really were excited about. It took us a while to figure out how to do it, but we've got it done. There's now the ability to search by your state's content standards. As I said before, I am in West Virginia, so I'm going to pick on my own state of West Virginia, and let's pretend that I'm a 4th grade social studies teacher. When I search our database, it is finding the West Virginia standards for social studies of 4th grade, and it is showing when it comes to teaching this standard, we've got 5 resources. When it comes to teaching this, we've got 14 resources. Point and click, and there they are. So very, very easy to search thinkfinity now by searching for a keyword, searching for a state standard, or I can use the drop-downs and search through everything. All right, let's go back to the right-hand side of the screen, And let's look over here. We have a video. If you haven't had time, please take about 4 or 5 minutes to look at this recorded video. High production value. This is very handy if, let's say that you tomorrow are talking to a colleague and you say, hey, I heard about something called thinkfinity. They ask you, what is thinkfinity? If you don't have the words to describe it, well, we do. So here's a little video tour that you can take about what is thinkfinity. Moving downward on the right-hand side, we have incorporated the Web 2.0 or the social networking into thinkfinity.org with the linking to Facebooks and Twitter and RSS feeds, etc. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to go back to the regular search and search for fractions. Generic term fractions. And I see we have 76 different resources. I could narrow those down and say just show me audio and video and lesson plans dealing with fractions. An interactive example. Yeah, I've got a question for an interactive example. I'm glad to. Let me show you how we can share this. Let's say that I have found something that's really, really interesting, and I like this, but I'm not sure how I found it. I want to be able to make sure that I always can find this easily. Anytime you find something that's interesting, you will find the word share next to it. When you hover over share, you'll see that we have the ability to email this to yourself, to a colleague, to your email address. If you are a Twitter user or a Facebook user or a Delicious user, very simple, point and click, and can drop this right into your Facebook or your Twitter or your email, whichever one you use. Now, in another webinar, we'll be talking about the thinkfinity community and how we have our own social network. If, let's say, for example, you are a technology integration specialist or a curriculum specialist and you are looking for massive amounts of resources for your audience, we have a share button at the top of the page. So you could share this entire page with your audience instead of each individual one. So we do have the ability to link to the Web 2.0 features like Facebook, Twitter, Delicious, email, etc. So I saw a flash come up on the screen. Somebody was looking for a sample. They wanted an interactive. Let's take a look. Let's say that I'm at home and I'm looking for games. Let's look at some of the ones that are being featured right now. Oh, let's try the planet size comparison. Let's say that I need to get you to understand that the sun is a whole lot bigger than the Earth. And my students are having trouble visualizing this. So here we've compared Earth versus Mercury. Let's change Mercury to the sun and compare. There is Earth, there's the sun. Let's try that again. Let's try comparing the sun to Jupiter and compare. Let's compare Jupiter to the Earth. And there you go. Now, what's really cool about our resources, as our interactive resources, is that they work on any brand of interactive board. So if you have, if you have a smart board or a team board or a Mimeo board or a Polyvision board or whatever brand name, our resources will work on all of them. Let's return back to thinkfinity.org. Again, I'm working down my way down the right-hand side of the screen. We do have a newsletter. If you would like, you can give us your email address and hit the sign up button, and we will send you a newsletter about every month, every 6 to 8 weeks, something in that neighborhood. We send an email out directly to your email about what's new. Don't worry, we never share your email address with anyone, and you can unsubscribe at any time. If you'd like to see our newsletters without signing up, that's perfectly fine. Simply click on View Our Newsletters. Let's take a look at January 2011, and this is what you would have gotten in your email. New resources, new personnel, etc. All right, back at the front page, thinkfinity.org. We do have a rotating feature on the front page, so we see honoring our military. This was recorded in the neighborhood of Memorial Day. We have some resources on space, freedom rides, and if you'd like to learn more information, simply click Learn More. And there we've pulled all of the resources dealing with the civil rights movement into one easy-to-find spot. Easy to email this entire page to someone without having to go through any copying and pasting or anything like that. Let's take a look now at the left-hand side of the screen. We do have one of my absolute favorite features, and this was a holdover. We had this feature on our old website, and so many people liked it, we incorporated it and improved it with our new website. And that's the Today in History calendar. Let's look for more. This is the same resources, just cataloged a different way. They're cataloged by date or event, anything else, rather than by keyword. So we see Captain Kidd was hanged for piracy on the date of this recording. So if I point and click, I find a paragraph or two explaining Captain Kidd, and we have geography and we have historic references to this. Let's take a look at the next day. Brooklyn Bridge was open to traffic, 1883. Paragraph or two explaining the Brooklyn Bridge and why this is important and why this is in this calendar. And here we have the science resources, the language arts resources, and the history resources all dealing with the Brooklyn Bridge. And I found those resources right on the front page, and there's our Today in History calendar. If you'd like that calendar in a different location, it's also listed here. All right. Now, what I do generally is I use this search engine. I search keyword, fractions, Anne Frank, volcanoes, parabolas, civil rights, whatever I'm trying to teach, I search. And when I do that, I do a search over all of our content partners. Now, if you want, you can go directly to our content partners via this website by simply clicking on their logo. Here I am at Science Netlinks, which was created by the American Association for the Advancement of Science. And if I'm looking for lesson plans, point and click. Remember I said we had we have nearly 10,000 lesson plans. Take a look at how many lesson plans that we're looking at, and we're only at the middle school grade level at this point. Keep on going. We've got hundreds of lessons, and this is just one subject area. If I point and click on any random lesson plan, I'm going to find the national standard for this. I'm going to find the purpose, the context, how do I plan ahead, motivation, assessment pieces, how do I extend this for special needs or gifted students, whatever I need to do. Everything is pulled out, everything a teacher might need, and we've got thousands of them. And there we have it, a very quick look at Verizon thinkfinity, sponsored by the Verizon Foundation. My name has been Mark Moore. I thank you all very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.